Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Scholarship Awards Celebration and Convocation. My name is Eileen Hayes. I am the very proud Dean of the College of Arts and Communication here at UW-Whitewater, and I'd like to welcome you to today's proceedings. I wish to welcome all of our new and continuing students, faculty, family members, and donors of our various scholarships. Our annual convocation is an opportunity for us to reflect on the core values of our college: creativity, expression, inquiry, and integrity. Your support, meaning donor support, is vital to our students' abilities to complete their educations here at this university, and we are so very grateful that you have joined us in our beautiful young auditorium for this event. At this time, I would like to ask that you join me in acknowledging all those we have lost from our college and from amongst our community supporters over the course of this year. In this regard, the American author Og Mandino has a message from which we can glean wisdom every day. He wrote, "Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be gone by midnight. Extend to them all the care, kindness, and understanding you can muster, and do it with no thought of any award. Your life will never be the same again. Let us remember those who touched our lives, such as they will never be the same again. Please stand and join me as you are able for a moment of silence." Thank you. We would especially like to welcome new students, whether first year or transferring. Would all of our new students raise your hands so that we can acknowledge you with our applause? Again, and I think that this cannot be said enough, be sure to reach out to our veteran students, faculty, staff, your professors, and department advisors for advice or directions. Our goal is to enfold you into the Whitewater way as quickly as possible. At the same time, one of your goals should be to imprint your own character and achievements on our college and universities, meaning that upon graduating from UW-Whitewater, our university will be the better place because you have been here. Our university is accurately described as a student-centered university, but our academic world goes around because of the dedication and expertise of our faculty and staff. Please join me in expressing appreciation to Associate Dean Robert Mertens, to our department and program chairs, Professors Mike Dugan, Kathy Brady, Marshall Anderson, Jeff Harriott, and Interim Chair Lauren Smith. Would all of our ADAs and university staff, if you are present, stand and be recognized as well? I also wish to extend a debt of thanks to Audra Lang, Director of Marketing and Events, Leslie Lemuro, Associate Director of Marketing and Events, Katie Kuznasik, Director of Philanthropy, and Shannon Dawzers, Director of the Young Auditorium. Please join me in appreciating all of them for their college leadership. At this time, it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium Chancellor Dwight Watson, who will be followed by Associate Dean Mertens. Dr. Watson is a scholar of education, an expert on teaching, and a big fan of musical theater and dance. Although Dr. Watson has been on our campus for only a couple of months, I can tell you that even during his campus visit, he took time to visit the Center of the Arts, and this is a strong indicator of his support for our academic programming of our college. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Watson.
Well, good afternoon. It's such a pleasure to be here. These gatherings of our faculty, staff, and students to celebrate all that makes UW-Whitewater a wonderful place. These are the occasions that I enjoy more so than anything else. And to be here in this wonderful auditorium with you wonderful people makes me equally excited. I'm inspired by the program, and I'm looking forward to everything that's going to happen this afternoon. I came here to UW-Whitewater because this is a pinnacle place. And one of the reasons that it's a pinnacle place is because of the values. I want our new students to understand what these values are, and I want our guests to understand these values. And I know that our existing students are living these values on a daily basis. One of our values is collaboration. We invest in meaningful relationships that leverage our respective talents and strengthen the Warhawk family. And we champion the endeavors of our faculty, staff, and students, and alumni. We believe in diversity and opportunity. We believe in the dignity of all individuals, and we cultivate as accessible, inclusive, and equitable culture where everyone can pursue their passions and reach their potential in an intellectually stimulating and respectful environment. We appreciate and we honor and we value integrity. We embrace principles of honesty, fairness, and ethical standards to foster an environment of mutual trust. The hallmark of our values is learning and academic excellence. We engage all members of the campus community in learning research, scholarship, creative endeavors through powerful academic and co-curricular experiences in an environment that values academic freedom. And when I think about the arts, there's no better place to think about academic and creative freedom. And we really and truly honor and support all of our artists across all of the various disciplines and creative works. But we also must be socially conscious. Therefore, another one of our values is service and social responsibility. We bring the knowledge and resources of the university into the communities we serve to solve problems, to improve the quality of life, and to create a more sustainable society. I want to repeat that for all of our young people. Your charge is to help us create a more sustainable society. We also believe in shared governance. I, as the chancellor, cannot lead this institution alone. We make decisions based on strategies, evidence, and transparent collegial dialogue, and we hold one another accountable. All of these values support our mission to serve students and to fuel our commitment to student success. I'm finding that our commitment to our students is core to those who choose to work here, whether they are faculty or staff or fellow students. Everyone has a shared understanding that we are here for the students. I've also watched students supporting one another, whether it be in clubs or in organization or ensembles or on the sporting field or on the performance stage. People all across campus are working to live up to our institutional values. I hope you, our students, understand that no matter what obstacles you might face during your educational journey, that we are here for you. Right here. Look around the auditorium. Look at people in the audience, and you'll see faculty and staff who will support you and help you find the resources necessary to help facilitate your success. Our dedication to each of you as individuals and to your learning is just one of the many reasons why Whitewater is such a special place to learn and grow. Today, we are honored to be joined by people who also believe in our students and in our values and in our campus. And they have helped create scholarships to support those values and those beliefs in our individual students. I want to thank you all who have made these awards possible. We are deeply indebted to you for your generosity, your vision, and of course, your unending Warheart spirit. Your passion, your dedication, and your belief in the potential of our students contributes to our collective success. Every single scholarship make a difference in the lives of our students. And in many instances, these scholarships honor the lives and memories of amazing individuals. And each scholarship recipient now has an opportunity to carry on their legacy. As I look through the program, I recognize names of former administrators, retired faculty, current faculty, and retired staff and alums. Each of these scholarships is such an important gift to our current students and our future students. Of course, I would also like to congratulate all of the scholarship recipients. We're proud to recognize you and your successes. And as I said, there are many obstacles along the way, but your path toward graduation is an easier one because of these scholarships. And we appreciate that you are working hard on one of your values and our value, which is achieving excellence. The students who are being recognized today have received guidance, support, and mentorship from other outstanding faculty and staff. And I want to thank all of the amazing faculty and staff. Let's start with a round of applause. Without our faculty and staff, your journey would be that much more difficult. One of the joys of this position is belonging to our Warhawk family and being surrounded by individuals like each of you who strive to make a real difference in so many ways, especially to make the academic dreams of our students come true. In closing, I want to thank you all for just being here and for believing in our mission and our values and investing in the future of these students and for bringing out the excellence in all of us. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This event is a gathering where we take the opportunity to reflect on the core values of the college: creativity, inquiry, expression, and integrity. We take this time to consider how these values shape our academic and personal lives and what we share across the disciplines. It's the mission of the college to cultivate and inspire these values through embodied practice in the fine and communication arts. Today, you will hear from students from each of the departments share their perspective on the college core values. Each of the students speaking today was nominated by the faculty of their major department as demonstrating and embodying the value that they today represent. To celebrate the beginning of the new term, the college invites these students to share their thoughts on the core values and presents them an award in recognition of their exemplary activities. It's now my pleasure to present the College Value Award recipients for the 2019-2020 academic year. Representing the music department and receiving the College Value Award for Inquiry, Cameron Vinson. Representing the Communication Department and receiving the College Value Award for Integrity, Alexis Zello. Representing the Theater Dance Department and receiving the College Value Award for Expression, Nathan Brogy. And representing the Art and Design Department and receiving the College Value Award for Creativity, Danae Notek. Please join me in congratulating all of these deserving students. It's now my pleasure to introduce our first Value Awards speakers of the afternoon. Cameron Vinson from the Music Department speaking on the college value of inquiry, and Alexis Zello from the Communication Department speaking on the college value of integrity. Please welcome first Cameron Vinson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cameron Vinson, and I'm in my 5th year of studying saxophone and music education. And I have found so far that no matter how many audiences I play saxophone for, public speaking is still really scary. So, when I was first assigned the word inquiry to present on, I was really excited. It's a value that I hold in high regard for myself and for the people that I choose to surround myself with. I also believe it to be a character trait that the Music Department and the College of Arts and Communication encourage and rewards in all of its students. I've said for years that one of my favorite things about the College of Arts and Communication is that kind of no matter what as you go through, the only thing that's really limiting your own accomplishment is your own level of inquiry. And so by that, I mean all the accomplishments that you attain at school and afterwards are only limited by your ambition to inquire about the field that you study and are passionate about. To me personally, inquiry as it relates to the study of music and music education is going through all the classes that are required of you while you're here and finding something that you just can't wait to learn more about while you're here. In my own experience, I remember getting my very first saxophone the summer before my 6th grade year. I brought it home after my first lesson and sternly told my parents I wouldn't be able to do anything else the rest of the day because I needed to practice. Reasonably, my sister sarcastically asked me, "You don't even know how to play that thing yet. What do you plan on practicing?" And my smug 11-year-old self declared, "I know how to put it together," and I locked myself in my room. Now, fast forward approximately 6 months. I'm now 11 and a half years old, an equally smug little saxophonist. I'm sitting in the middle of my bedroom floor with my saxophone assembled in front of me and a screwdriver in my right hand. I see some looks of terror in the audience. Rest assured, none of them could equal the face on my middle school band director as I brought my horn in the next day with 0 keys able to move. Now, this story sounds like a foolish little kid messing with something far too complicated for them to possibly understand, and to some degree, it absolutely is. However, I'm really trying to get across that the value that inquiry holds, not only as a child, but whenever you intend to learn about anything. And so if you settle for sitting in class and trying to write the correct answer and turn it in to get a good grade, there is no chance that you will achieve anything to the best of your ability. I can do a lot of little quick repairs on woodwind instruments now. I often have to when I work like the middle school and high school band camps on campus here over the summer, when I'm working with the marching band here on campus, or when I'm practicing and working on my own instruments. That skill is really valuable at times, but that's not something that I necessarily got from sitting in woodwind technique classes here, excellent as those classes were, if Dr. Auditorium and Dr. Ellenwood are in the room. It's a really valuable skill, but I credit much of that to my younger self, tearing apart that first saxophone that I owned, destructive as it may have been. And so in my time studying music education here, I've had the pleasure of seeing many of my peers transition from college students to full-time music teachers. And it's quite often I hear them say things like, "Wow, college really did not prepare me as much as I thought it might have." And in a lot of ways, that's unavoidable. Your first job after college will undoubtedly come with unexpected challenges. However, I can say that for certain, the peers that I see overcome those challenges are the same students that are going to office hours, asking extra questions, doing undergraduate research projects on topics they find interesting and are passionate about. And so in a lot of ways, inquiry can be the key to doors for success, both in school and afterwards. If I can address the current students of the College of Arts and Communication for just one moment as I close my short speech, I would like to give just one small piece of advice as someone who's getting ready to graduate in the spring. Finally. Don't wait to inquire. Yes, it takes effort and time at a point in our lives where you have no time, and sometimes effort just makes you want to take a nap. However, inquiry, like a place in the College of Arts and Communication at UW-Whitewater, is really what makes a difference between getting a degree and getting an education. We have world-class educators sitting around us in this room right now, but they can do absolutely nothing for you if you don't inquire first. So it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for listening.
Maintaining integrity in communication is an easy commitment to make theoretically, but hard to sustain in real life. Many aspects of our larger social culture we live in do not foster honesty, getting help to solve problems, or being tolerant of differences. However, if my 3 years at Whitewater has taught me anything, our department has gone above and beyond to reverse these. One such instance took place in my advanced public speaking class, taught by one of the most caring women I know, Kathy Taylor. To those who know me more closely may find it funny that I took this class, because I already participate in forensics, which is an activity where I competitively public speak. I took it because I thought it would be easy, and for the most part it was. Our last assignment was to talk about a moment that changed our lives. For the entire semester, I was torn over what to talk about. If it was not for the welcoming and opening experience that Kathy had created among our class, I would not be able to share with you what I shared with them now. When it was my turn to tell my story, I stood up in front of my class and finally talked about coming to terms with my anxiety, how I denied the feeling of anxiety for years, and for the first time in my life, sought counseling. My story begins with how I used to feel about mental health, my denial of what was really going on, and it was something I would have figured out a long time ago. I never told my parents, my friends. However, I stood up in front of my class and what felt like the first time spoke my truth. Integrity can change the way you perceive challenges in your mind. I thought I was invincible to my anxiety and that my emotions could be controlled, and that it was just a mental health issue. I know I can no longer ignore that I have these feelings, but understand that what I'm going through is all right, and that I'm receiving the help that I need. My mental health is not a crutch, it's not an issue, it's not a defining factor. It's just something that makes me, me. There's a lot of things that integrity can teach us, but it can teach us most importantly about ourselves. The professors here at the communication department push us students to find the truth and pursue the more difficult road because it will ultimately reveal the most about us. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis and Cameron, for sharing your insights. It is now my privilege to introduce the recipients of our Faculty and Staff Excellence Awards. Nominees were identified by their peers and students as exemplifying the highest levels of achievement in each area. As is customary, there was not a nominee from every department for each award. I'd like to extend our collective thanks to members of the Excellence Awards Committee, chaired by Professor Barbara Grubel, for their careful vetting of the nominations. I will read the names of all of the nominees in any one category first. Then I will ask the recipient to stand so that they can be acknowledged. Please hold your applause until all nominees within that category have been announced. The Excellence in Teaching Award is presented in recognition of outstanding teaching and the improvement of student learning. The nominees were, from the Department of Art and Design, Professor Max White; from Communication, Amal Ibrahim; Theater and Dance, Barbara Grubel; Music, Rachel Wood. The recipient of the College Award for Excellence in Teaching is Amal Ibrahim from the Department of Communication. The Excellence in Research Award is presented in recognition of a faculty member's significant advances to knowledge, technique, or creative expression in the discipline. The nominees were, from the Department of Communication, Nick Wong; Theater and Dance, Eric Appleton; Music, Elena Holmes. The recipient of the College Award for Excellence in Research is Professor Eric Appleton, Department of Theater and Dance. The Excellence in Service Award is presented in recognition of a faculty member for outstanding service to the college and university. The nominees were, from the Department of Communication, Professor Kate Sobiak; Music, Benjamin Whitcomb; Theater and Dance, Marshall Anderson; Art and Design, Max White. The recipient of the College Award for Excellence in Service is Dr. Kate Sobiak, Department of Communication. To our students, I would now ask, where would you be without your advisor? The Excellence in Academic Advising Award is presented in recognition of a university faculty or academic staff member for outstanding academic advising. The nominee was, and the recipient is, Chris Cranenberg, Department of Communication. The Excellence Award for Instructional Academic Staff is presented in recognition of an academic staff member who demonstrates outstanding teaching in keeping with the university's mission. The nominees were, from the Department of Theater and Dance, Tracy Lyons, and the Department of Communication, Tammy French. The College Award is extended to Tracy Lyons, Department of Theater and Dance. Please join me in congratulating all of our faculty and staff nominees and award recipients. At this time, we turn to recognize our emeritus faculty, and don't worry, we will recognize the retirement of Mike Flanagan a little later in the program. Over the course of their respective careers, our faculty colleagues demonstrated excellence in teaching, research, service, and advising. I've asked Dr. Kathy Brady and Dr. Mike Dugan to join us on stage for this presentation. First, we will extend our certificates. Dr. Robinson. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Friends.
It is my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Dr. Linda Robinson. When she announced her retirement, we realized that she was going to be irreplaceable, largely because Linda is the perfect example of the Renaissance woman. She has degrees in law, journalism, film, and children's literature, and a very inquisitive mind that allowed her to successfully teach just about anything we asked her to. So our loss is the Whitewater Historical Society's gain. She's been very busy helping them with projects, and we will miss her very much.
I thought I would take this opportunity to share the formal Professor Emeritus retirement resolution that the faculty drafted on George's behalf as a way to slightly embarrass my colleague, Dr. George Ferenz, but to also give all of you a sense of the formality and pageantry and ceremony that goes into when somebody retires. So I will read for you George's retirement resolution. I will be saying whereas 12 times. Actually 13. Whereas Dr. George Ferenz has been a valued member of the UW-Whitewater community since 1991. Whereas he served as the associate professor from 1991 to 1995 and as professor 95 to 2019 in the Department of Music. Whereas he served at Idaho State University from 1982 to 1991 as assistant and associate professor. Whereas he received our college's service award, our campus awards for teaching and research, and was UW-Whitewater's nominee for competitive awards from the UW System Regents and the Council for the Advancement and Support of Education. Whereas he influenced the lives of thousands of students throughout his teaching of music theory, oral skills, arranging, and general education courses. Whereas he is an active member of the Society for American Music and the American Musicological Society and contributor to the Grove Dictionary of American Music and the New Grove Dictionary of Music. Whereas he was regularly given peer-reviewed papers, or has given peer-reviewed papers at national meetings and has served as the reviewer for numerous musical publications, scholarly conferences, theses, and dissertations. Whereas he has been a longly recognized international authority on the life and work of the composer and arranger Robert Russell Bennett. Whereas this expertise has led to professional collaborations with the Chicago Symphony, Los Angeles Philharmonic, U.S. Army Field Band, the Tony Awards, Library of Congress, and numerous professional and student researchers, conductors, and performers. Whereas his published book rests in collections of more than 1,000 libraries worldwide, and his commercial arrangements and editions see daily use by professionals and amateurs alike. Whereas he has appeared as a pianist in countless regional venues, including 26 plus years at the Fireside Restaurant and Theater, and performed on a variety of instruments with the Madison Symphony, Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra, Akron Symphony, Air Force Band of Pacific Northwest. Whereas he served as the music department's music camps for 26 years, including 4 years as the piano camp director. Be it resolved, in light of Dr. Ferenz's teaching, research, service, and performing, that the Department of Music's faculty unanimously requests the rank of Professor Emeritus with all the attendant rights and privileges for our distinguished colleague. And be it further resolved that we, the faculty and staff of UW-Whitewater, send him best wishes on a well-earned retirement and best wishes to him for continued happiness, success, and good health throughout the future.
It is now time for our scholarship recipients to be recognized, and I'd like to introduce Professor Barbara Grubel, Chair of the Scholarships Committee.
What a pleasure to announce our college scholarships. Students, please stand when your name is called and remain standing until we finish all the names. Audience, if you would hold your applause until the very end. James R. and Zoe E. Connor Arts and Communication Scholarship, Jasmine Kozier. The Dolly Family Scholarships, Alexa Farrell, Kaylee Meyer, Daniela Porras, Ryan Schiltz. The Fassel Leadership Scholarship, Jennifer Toon. The Green Hill Excellence in the Arts Award, Allison Acker, Sarah Augustine, Libby Block-Kraus, Selena Esquivel, Miranda Johnson, Juliet King, Logan Mallon, Kayla Okas, and Emily Amernick. The Francis L. Pease Art and Communication Scholarship, Jared Cox. College of Arts and Communication Promise Endowment, Monica Beran, Michelle Dom, Emanuela Fox, Corey Friend, Angela Jacoby, Serena Johnson, Simon McGee, and Hannah Schumacher. The College Alumni Study Abroad Scholarship, Joanna Wigman. The Raymond E. Light Memorial Scholarship, Corey Friend, Danea Notek, Cameron Vinson. The Outstanding Junior Scholarship, Jasmine Kozier. The Center of the Arts 25th Anniversary Performing Arts Trust Scholarship, Nathan Brogy and Nathan Rowley. The John and Shirley Greenwood Scholarship, Danea Notek. The Shoe Scholarship. This is an inaugural scholarship this year for our college. I'd like to personally thank Annette and Dale. The scholarships are senior Kaylee Meyer, junior Corey Friend, sophomore Lance Pearson, freshman Phoenix Grosser. Let's give a round of applause to our college students. I would now like to introduce our Art and Design Interim Chair, Lauren Smith.
All the recipients should stand when their names are called and remain standing until we have announced all the names. And audience members, please hold your applause till the end. The Elizabeth Blumberg Endowed Art Scholarship, Cassidy Stern. The Roberta Avon Fiska Memorial Scholarship, Gabrielle Clark, Juliet King, Veronica Whipperforth. The Flanagan McNeil Bonzinski Military Family Scholarship, Cassidy Stern, Ashley Washock. The Edna Grinstead Art Scholarship, Jared Cox, Caitlin Dolan, Danea Notek. The Mary Weiser Art Studies Scholarship, Libby Block Krause. The Mark Palmer Gray Jr. Endowed Art Scholarship, Jared Cox, Maddie Crum, Eva Fitzsimmons, Meredith Huber, Danea Notek, Libby Block Krause, Daniela Porras. The Stacia Lane Endowed Art Scholarship, Libby Block Krause. The Henry and Violet DeWind Scholarship, Sinclair Casarato, Hannah St. Louis. The Amy Arnson Endowed Art Scholarship, Eve Fitzsimmons. The Excellence in Printmaking Scholarship, Danea Notek. Congratulations. I'd like to introduce the chair of the Department of Communication, Kathy Brady.
Would the Communication Scholarship winners please stand as you hear your name, and the audience wait till the end for our applause. The Ben and Maxine Lowell Scholarship, Taylor Francoise. Communication Department Ambassadors, Becca Fish, Jenna Malk, Cassandra Simplot. Communication Department Scholar Endowment, Emma O'Connor. Peter and Catherine Conover Endowed Scholarship, Caitlin Fianda and Emma O'Connor. The George Hafer Scholarship Fund, Caitlin Fianda. Richard and Kathy Haven Political Communications Scholarship, Emanuela Fox. the Lowell Award for Excellence in Corporate and Health Communication, Cameron Novi. The Martino Journalism Scholarship, Brenda Echeverria. And the Dr. Patricia A. Townsend Scholarship, Alexis Zello. Please join me in acknowledging our winners. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jeff Harriet, the Program Chair of Media Arts and Game Development.
Good afternoon. The Max Mallory Scholarship this year went to Wesley McWhirter. At this time, I'd also like to announce the winner of 2 different MAGD Program Awards. The first is the MAGD Expo Best in Show Award, which is also sponsored by the Mallory Foundation. That was given this year to Callan Frisky back in May of 2019. We also have a brand new MAGD Award this year thanks to Ms. Julie Caldwell, and this award will go to Alec Ochowski. Thank you. Congratulations. And next, I'd like to welcome the chair of the music department, Mike Dugan.
Thank you, Dr. Harriet. Music students, when I call your name, stand if you are able, remain standing, smile, don't lock your knees, enjoy this moment. The rest of you hold your applause till the end. I've got a little bit of a lengthier list than average. The Stephen Butler Music Endowment, Miranda Johnson. The LaGrange Society Scholarship, Ruth Farrell and Jeffrey Pumivong. The Bushman Pritchett Scholarship, Allison Keller. The Chancellor's Quartet Scholarship, Jasmine Kozier, Memo Silva, Claire Whitney, Elizabeth Zerger. The Guerin Jazz Talent Endowed Scholarship, Quinn Galvin, Angela Jacoby. The James and Lita Fay Memorial Scholarship, Ryan Schultz. The Gala Concert Scholarships, Elliot Filipiak, Sam Finley, Quinn Galvin, Katie Herring, Angela Jacoby, Miranda Johnson, Allison Keller, Kayla Laura, Elizabeth Miller, Alexis Nungary, Kelsey Peshik, Lucas Reisdorf, Lindsay Starrett, Liz Task, Emma Tetzlav, Cameron Vinson, and Rebecca Weber. The Joanne Hobbs Endowed Music Scholarship, Holly Holmberg. The Howard G. Inglefield Music Scholarship, Lucas Reisdorf. The Robert L. Jennings Voice Scholarship, Elizabeth Miller. The Carlene McMonigal Scholarship Endowment, Abby Hummel and Nathan Rowley. The Dennis Rohrs Band Scholarship Endowment, Nathan Rowley. The Dr. Robert K. Webb Family Scholarship, Selena Esquivel. The Glenn and Christine Hayes Music Education Scholarship, Ryan Schultz. The Vanderlinden Voice Scholarship, Lindsay Starrett. Music Endowment Scholarship, Selena Esquivel. The String Area Quartet Scholarship, Elliot Filipiak, Logan Mallon, Noah Shafrick, and Noah Zizolka. The Joyce Ryan Voice Scholarship, Alexis Nungary. The Grace A. Pruger Scholarship. The recipients are Nick Anderson, Madeline Clark, Alexis Dvorak, Bailey Dye, Marilyn Farias, Alex Fiedler, Melinda Janish, Callie Knoll, Kayla Okus, Nahuel Rakoba, Mackenzie Richardson, Brandon Terwilliger, McKinnon Tobin. The Admissions Music Talent Scholarships. The recipients are Mia Artman, Ella Ray Beal, Logan Mallon, Scott Noseworthy, Emma Phelps, Simon Ulrich, Claire Whitney. Please join me in congratulating these outstanding students. I now have the distinct honor of bringing the one and only the Professor Marshall Anderson, Chairperson of Theater Dance.
As with all the rest of the groups with the Theater Dance Scholarship recipients, please stand when your name is called and remain standing, and we'll hold our applause till the end. For the Winnett Barnett Theater Scholarships, the Barnett Scholarship in Dance, Alexander Carey. The Barnett Scholarship in Technical Theater, Alexander Carey. The Barnett Scholarship in Costuming, Jordan Meyer, who's working backstage. The Barnett Scholarship in Performance, Corey Friend. The All-Around Barnett Student Scholarship, Alexander Carey. And the Barnett Incoming Freshman Scholarship, Natalie Michael. The Carolyn and John Bodensteiner Outstanding Theater Scholarship, Corey Friend. The Tom and Jane Colwyn Theater Dance Design Scholarship, Grace Roosh. The Dance Choreography Award, Kayla Widener. The Fannie Hicklin Theater Education Scholarship, Nathan Brogy, who's also backstage. The Matthew Sleesman Scholarship for Artistic and Academic Accomplishment, Simon McGee. The Fred Cederholm Theater Writing Scholarship, Escher Wentz. The Margot and Scott Trenadu Scholarship, Simon McGee. The Jean and Ann Wilson Endowed Theater Scholarship, Nicholas Soul. The Matt McNally Stage Management Award, Alexander Carey. The Sally Marks Scholarships, Michelle Dahm, Megan Grove, Grace Roosh, and Carly Wuchterl. The Theater Alumni Award, Cade Stowe. And the first ever Jim Butchart Memorial Scholarship to Jonathan Lottie. May not be here, he broke his foot a couple days ago. So please join me in congratulating our theater dance winners. You can sit down. Now please all enjoy this performance by the UW-Whitewater Jazz Combo.
Growing up, wanting to become a teacher, I've always been told from English classes that the best way to start these big formal speeches is with a hook or an opening sentence. So I'm going to try that. To quote a really close friend of mine who cannot make it tonight, art is a direct expression of the human experience. Art can only be achieved by a human who has lived life. That was good, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, good afternoon. My name is Nathan Brogy. I'm a fifth-year theater education major at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. I came to this school as a third-generation education student, hoping to find my career path through a blend of the arts and educating the future of theater. I'm here to talk to you about expression, but not in the ordinary way. Expression is one of those words that has a blanket definitions, but with something that covers millions of concepts, beliefs, and ideas, it deserves more. While a definition of expression tells us that there is a most common medium of expressing ourselves through our mouths, our method of expressing is through our words, and that's not necessarily true. The definition is too conventional and leaves out the personality of the human being. While we use our words every day, there is so much more that we experience in our daily lives that we breeze by. When we go out to eat, that food we eat is expression. When we go out to see a movie, people who made that movie were expressing themselves and showing that to us. Someone somewhere is trying to show us their definition of expression. There has been so much pressure placed on every individual to conform to this idea of assimilation and association with one system of acceptance. We are incredibly scared to show what we truly want. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, that is able to stop you from showing your true form of expression. Don't let anyone, anything, or any idea tell you otherwise. Nobody's form of expression is better than anybody else's. So it's important to know where the good forms of expression lie within the world we are surrounded by. Everyone uses their own unique form of expression throughout their daily ordeals. For me and my theater colleagues, we can use expression through portraying a character, drawing renderings for costumes, hanging and focusing lights, or building sets. I was lucky enough to fall into this world of expression when I entered high school. I came into high school from a very abusive group of peers, needing to start somewhere fresh. I had been in band and art classes previously, but nothing had captured my attention more than when I went to see one of the high school productions. It was called Don't Drink the Water, a very unknown farce about the Iron Curtain, the term for the imaginary border that separates Europe during the war periods of World War II through the Cold War. My sophomore year of high school was the first time I auditioned for the high school theater program. It's hard to describe when you know you find yourself where you belong. But for me, being the audition room, that was it. I continued with that program all the way through my senior year. When graduation came nearer and nearer, I didn't know what to do for my post-secondary education, and I was feeling lost again. But my high school theater teacher, Nathan Barish, told me that I had the energy of an inspirer. I had the teacher's philosophies, character traits, talent, and passion to educate our future. I will always thank him for the lessons that he taught me and how he believed in my form of expression more than I ever could. Coming to this university was an eye-opening experience for me to understand that this is where I needed to be in the full concept of theater. I'd only been an actor in high school, so when this university told me I could get my hands on in any department that I could possibly wanted, that's when I knew I was where I wanted to be. I get to teach the craft I love, all while designing, acting, directing, and painting to my heart's content. The faculty, the staff, the students have done way more for me than I can ever possibly thank them. And it's a blanket statement to all those people that are here and who may be working on our pieces as we speak. Thank you. And also art and band and choirs and those things. Your form of expression is valid. Take it, absorb it, and use it to the best of your ability. I never would have been given this chance without committing to the expression I sought for, and what I truly am thankful for. My parents and their belief in me and the work I had to do to dig myself out of a rotten past. When thinking about expression as a whole, it's something that everyone can use as a tool to show who they truly are. However, expression has been used wrongly in the past and will continue to be without the guidance of support, trust, and respect. Your expression should not attack. Your expression should not criticize. And your expression should definitely not blame. You don't have to put up your own version of an Iron Curtain. Seen it yet? In order to feel accepted and loved. Worrying about others and the way they express themselves doesn't necessarily have to involve you. Everyone in this auditorium has created their personal brand. You know who you are and what you stand for, so make sure you can represent yourself the best way possible. I leave you today with this. In the words of Eckhart Tolle, What are we when we strip away the identities we create for ourselves with our jobs, our relationships, our borders, and our beliefs? Thank you for listening. Have a good evening.
Creativity. My professors have taught me that the most poignant pieces of art are honest and straight from vulnerability, from those places that tell us to create, and at 3 a.m. force us to scribble down the ideas that keep us up at night, for suffocatingly distressful fear that we won't remember what provoked us at 3 a.m. For musicians, your melodies tell stories, with or without words, creating choral complexities that conjure calm or quaking within us, beats that make us stomp, sob, or sing. Rhythmic voice giving goosebumps, making the little hairs on our arms stand in applause for your art. Dancers accompany with dramatic steps. The body is the medium for speaking, and your wordless story draws us in. Swing, swing, samba waltz, steps that spark hearts pounding in unison. Your contagious energy makes us crave to move with you. Diversity is in your nature and proves that we don't need language to connect. The playwrights and writers spin stories. Your powerful pens press to paper to captivate audience consciousness with ideas that inspire belief in something bigger than the self. The actors give their essence over to a character, relinquishing individuality in the name of their art to entertain eager eyes requesting respite from reality. Critically assessed for convincing performance, you are the artwork, vulnerable in that little but blinding stage lights shield you from dissecting spectators. Visual artists, my guys. Paleolithic people scrawled on cave walls 73,000 years ago and signed with handprints pictures preserved and celebrated today. The vessels you make can store secrets scribed into the interior for all of eternity. The pieces you create reach, seduce, and hold on to hearts that are drawn to your imagery. Printmakers, painters, drawers, photographers, metalsmiths, designers, ceramicists, sculptors. There's so much to say, but I only have so much time, and I don't want it to seem like I play favorites. I was asked to speak about creativity, but what creativity means to me is authenticity and vulnerability, creating work that kindles connection, communicating to a crowd in a way that is not standing at a podium like so. This year, poet Mary Oliver passed away, and critics commented her writing was lifeless, too happy to be prudent, not enough suffering to relate. But tell that to her followers who read, religiously, her poems of walks in forests and seascapes, of nature as her serene survival, glasses half full approach to coping. Poet Mary Oliver, winner of the Pulitzer Prize, National Book Award, and Lannan Literary Award for Lifetime Achievement, has critics. And we will too, if we're lucky. But hold steady, my gutsy artists, because someone is going to see the soul of your work. Your honest, bare bones, bleeding heart. This idea kept me up at 3 a.m., authenticity and vulnerability as everything. I want to close with a poem by Mary Oliver. I want to write something so simply about love or about pain that even as you are reading, you feel it. And as you read, you keep feeling it. And though it be my story, it will be common. Though it be singular, it will be known to you. So that by the end, you will think, no, you will realize that it was all the while yourself arranging the words, that it was all the time words that you yourself, out of your heart, had been saying. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Greg Cook, and I serve as the interim provost and chief academic officer here at the university. It's an honor to have this opportunity to say a few words at this scholarship awards celebration and convocation. I've really enjoyed sitting backstage and hearing your testimonials to your college values of creativity, integrity, expression, and inquiry. These are important values that form the foundation of all that you do and all that you represent as the College of Arts and Communication. As I enjoyed the event, I reflected also on the slogan that accompanied our last year's sesquicentennial anniversary: to inspire, to engage, and to transform. To inspire. Your great achievements are very inspiring. The scholarships and awards recognized here today represent impressive and inspiring achievements. And they are only the tip of the iceberg of all that's achieved here in your college. To engage. Your achievements also demonstrate deep engagement of students, faculty, and staff all around the college, from dance and art studios to band and theater productions, in the classroom, out of the classroom, in research projects, and through all of your dedicated work in the community. Your engagement is very evident. Engagement with each other, engagement with your art, your craft, your discipline, and engagement with the campus and the community. The vibrance of your collaboration shines in so many ways. And then finally, to transform. That's the real mission of our university, to transform lives and impact society. And seeing all of the award-winning students here reminds us of the degree to which our faculty and staff do indeed transform lives. But students here in the audience today, I want you to know something else. I want you to know that you transform lives also. And I can give you one example of proof. So quite often when I have the opportunity to visit with your faculty and staff members, I can see the twinkle in their eyes, and I can hear the proud ways that they describe your work and your success as students. Our faculty and staff are all very proud of you, and you transform them by engaging in the profession they love, teaching and working with students. So congratulations to Dean Hayes and all of her talented staff for organizing this event and for all they do as leaders all year long. And congratulations to the faculty and the teaching staff and to all of the support staff for your achievements and contributions. And of course, congratulations to the students for all of your success now and well into your very bright futures. And as I close my remarks, I want to give special thanks and congratulations to the many alumni and donors here today, and also to those who could not attend. We all greatly appreciate your generous support of the university. Your support for these students makes a tremendous difference. We have many students here at UW-Whitewater who are so capable of doing great work, but some of them wouldn't be able to attend college or finish their degrees without your generous contributions. You make a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cook. We are proud to have, as our leader of academic affairs, a professional who has done so much for this university. I have just two brief sound bites of information to share. After our next presentation, we will have the singing of our school's alma mater. The idea will be that our quartet will sing it first, and then we'll all join in on the second go-around. So we wanted you to be prepared for that. Next, I'd like to invite you all to join us in the Fern Young Terrace for a reception, which will follow immediately after this program. At that time, students will have the opportunity to meet and greet our donors, family members, friends, and other supporters. Donors, we will have a small gift for you at the Fern Young Terrace, a tangible manifestation of our deep appreciation for your generosity and commitment to our students' success in music, art and design, theater and dance, communication, and MAGD. At this time, will all of our students stand as you are able and join us in acknowledging our generous scholarship donors? Thank you. At this time, I would ask that Associate Dean Bob Mertens and Professor Sue Messer, former chair of the Department of Art and Design, join me on stage along with Mike Flanagan for the presentation of the Dean's Award. It is my pleasure to begin our salute to Michael Flanagan, director of the Crossman Gallery, who we are honoring this afternoon on the occasion of his retirement. Over the years, Mike Flanagan has played a broad role in the life of our Department of Art and Design, college, university, and art community. His impressive professional biography appears in your program. Mike Flanagan served as an academic staff member from 1995 to 2019. He's been recognized many times over for his many contributions to the UW-Whitewater community. He has been a popular instructor of our general education course called World of the Arts, and in 2016, his ability to bring art to life in the classroom was recognized by the Everett Long Award for the Advancement of General Education. Mike's curatorial experience has been sought out by organizations at the regional and national level. Now, those of you who are in the know in regard to university policies are aware that the title of emeritus is not yet accorded to academic staff, although the possibility is being discussed at the highest levels as we speak. Yet, faculty and staff deemed it appropriate for the dean to confer the title of Crossman Gallery Director Emeritus upon Mike Flanagan for very significant reasons. The word emeritus in the Latin means veteran, and Mike Flanagan is a veteran and expert teacher, curator, artist, and colleague of the heart. Many of you are also aware that the word veteran is particularly apropos, given that he is a veteran of the Vietnam conflict waged so many years ago, and one that we will never forget. As curator of numerous student exhibits, Mike has extended many Best in Show awards, and on the occasion of his retirement, we say that he is our Best in Show. It is my pleasure to introduce Professor Sue Messer, who will offer concluding remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean Hayes. It's really a pleasure to have an opportunity to share my appreciation of the opportunity to have worked with Mike for so many years. But honestly, it's really difficult to imagine the Department of Art and Design without Mike. In 1995, when we needed a new Crossman Gallery director, it was our great fortune that Mike was interested and applied for the position. From the start, Mike, you understood the importance and value to the university, college, and department of the Crossman Gallery as an intersectional academic and social space. Through your curation of exhibits, by securing important loans and gifts to the university, by developing meaningful relationships with collectors and artists near and far, and by frequently including students and faculty in your exhibits alongside local, regional, national, and international artists, you gave the Whitewater community the opportunity to encounter and engage with significant art and ideas. You also saw the Crossman Gallery not only as an entry point for the community, but also as a place where the university could come together. And over the years, it was common to see students from all over campus mingling with professors, provosts, and chancellors in the exhibits that you facilitated. You knew how to let go of the reins and share the Crossman for others to gain professional experiences, from students learning gallery techniques that they, in turn, have taken into their own professional lives, to creating spaces for faculty to curate exhibitions. With this vision, Mike supported the entire curriculum and all of our programs. Students gained experience designing displays and installing their work. They learned important curation, collection management, and museum skills, and the gallery presented exhibits that were art historically significant, offered diverse and complicated perspectives, and that were often timely in focus. Mike, you welcomed ideas and embraced opportunities to collaborate. You said yes to exhibition proposals, and in the process afforded many of us a chance to dig deeply into our disciplines and to research meaningful content with rigor and depth, a benefit that enhanced professional development and that would have been unlikely without your leadership. In your reliable support of visiting artists, from the shoe visiting artist to Oaxacan printmakers and poets, and our thriving alum, You have sustained and enriched our program. As an accomplished artist and gallerist, your humanity, empathy, and respect for the creative process was especially visible in the ways you worked with students. In World of the Arts, Basic Art, and in the gallery, you are a tireless advocate, generous mentor, and welcoming presence. In your learning communities, you were instrumental in disarming the jitters of first-year students and easing the transition to college. When Mike would visit my intro drawing classes, my students would welcome him with a huge grin and friendly laugh of recognition, along with a few fist bumps. A response that was mutual. Everyone knew when Mike Flanagan was in the house. Mike's willingness and ability to bring everyone in was a gift, and it made for great exhibitions and a sense of inclusion. We are all participants, and we all have a stake in this endeavor. Or, as my colleague Max White wrote about Mike, you touched so many lives during your esteemed career. You are an amazing director of our Crossman Gallery. You opened up many students in your WOTA classes to the depth and thrill of the arts. From the first year to the last show, you made a difference. Whew. The world has been a better place because you are in it. Boom.
Very lovely. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I have a gift that is a book of thanks that is a compilation of our deep affection and appreciation for all of the work over all of the course of these years.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you
so
Mike.
much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
It is my pleasure to confer the 2019 Dean's Award to Michael Flanagan, Director Emeritus of the Crossman Gallery.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't prepare anything, so I'll make this really short. I'll tell you one thing, all you students, it goes by really quickly. So 23 years just went like that. I'm going to miss being I'm going to miss being here. I'm going to miss interacting with students and my colleagues here. I'm going to miss being on campus. I'm not going to miss the 110-mile round-trip drive every day. I won't miss that part, but I'll certainly miss all of you. Thanks so much. Thanks for everything that Dean Hayes. Thanks for the kind words from Sue Messer. Bob Mertens has been my mentor through most of this, and I certainly appreciate Bob and everything that he's done to make all of this possible. I believe we get to do one more thing here. Yes, we do. Okay. And after that, party on.
everyone. See you next year. Have a great semester.